All right. Hopefully everybody can hear me this evening, but my name is Jim Hoover, and I'm a Rain partner, and I just want to first of all welcome everybody onto the call here this evening. We had just a tremendous amount of beats coming in, so I know we have people on here from probably not only North America, but maybe from some other countries included. And if you're already a Rain partner, I want to really thank you for coming on tonight's call and supporting it. If you're brand new and hearing about Rain for the very first time tonight, I want you to know that this call is especially for you. And again, I know we have a lot of people on, so be patient with that. And what I'm going to cover here this evening is a little bit about the company and what got me and my wife so excited. I'm going to talk about the timing of being able to help open up North America with Rain International. And, of course, I'm going to talk about this very unique product called Soul and how it's not only changed the quality of Renee's and my lives, but it's also changed the quality of many people's lives around the world. So you're really fortunate to be here this evening because we also have a few people that are going to be with us and sharing a little about their story and what they've experienced with the product and the business this evening. So at the end of the call, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about the marketing structure and how you can capitalize on Rain International and share this with people around the world. So I want to go ahead and start off here tonight by just sharing a little about myself and understand it's not to impress you about me, it's to impress upon you why I made the decision to come here with Rain International. And I want you all to know right up front that, you know, I'm not anything special, folks. I was a long-haul truck driver for 13 years, and about 25 years ago, somebody introduced me to the network marketing industry, and I was able to position myself in front of a global wave, and it changed my life forever. Not only did it change my life forever, but it changed my whole entire pattern of thinking about what the future was going to hold for me. So I literally had gone to the top of a couple of companies. I was really excited about being able to do that. But I also want you to know I had what I consider to be pretty pathetic failures out there. And it's not because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. It was because companies that I was seeing were underfinanced and companies that I was seeing were undermanaged. And they had a product that was more of a concept than it was a fact. And to me, that caused a lot of the challenges out there for me as I was looking for more companies. So I literally stepped away from the industry about 6 years ago and started pursuing some other ventures in my life. I had no intentions or desire at that time to come back. And understand, it wasn't because I didn't love the industry. I loved the industry. I just didn't see things out there that impacted me to make me want to quit what I was doing to come back into the industry until about 8 weeks ago when a very good friend of mine contacted me. And I have so much respect for this person because that person was making a strong five-figure income with another company, and he had been doing it for 13 years. And what he did is he introduced me to Rain International. And I was fully prepared to say no. I was fully prepared to go, well, you know, I don't know, not for me. But that didn't happen, and I'll tell you why. Because what happened is he introduced me to the company and what the company was doing. And I found out that the president and CEO of the company was a gentleman named Byron Belka. And see, Byron Belka happened to be and come from a distributor base himself. He happened to be with a very big company, and he had gone out and started opening up countries around the world. He probably was trained by mentors a lot like I was, and that was to go out and open up city, states, and countries. And that's exactly what he was doing. But here was the problem. He got out there and did very well, but what happened was his checks started to get bigger And unfortunately, it was at the cost of many of his friends and his family. He didn't like that idea, and I wouldn't have either. So what he did was he basically left the company and found Rain International and actually joined it as a distributor. Well, of course, he went back overseas and opened up at least 5 countries that I know of with Rain International and shared this product with people. And what he found was that the product had such an impact on people's lives that it really had a big impact on him also. So he looked at the company and said, I don't like the way that the direction that the company's heading right now. And what he did is he came back to the United States, and the company happened to be based out of the Springfield, Utah area. He came back into the United States, and he put a couple of partners and investors together, and he bought Rain International. Now, I got to tell you that the transition was not something that was particularly easy for him, but one of the manufacturer of this product actually is one of the owners. The other investor that was in this at the time was actually the gentleman who owns the back office and tracks all of your commissions, pays you, does everything that you need to do the accountability for your business. So basically what happened at that stage was that Byron, decided that he wouldn't open up North America right out of the starting blocks. He continued to grow with the company in the countries overseas. And, after hearing his story, they went through all kinds of challenges. They went through tax challenges. They weren't legally able to go into a lot of these countries because the paperwork wasn't up to date. They literally, folks, should have gone out of business 5 or 10 times. But guess what? They didn't do that. And in fact, one time, they couldn't even deliver the product for 6 weeks, folks. 6 weeks. But guess what? They had their biggest month ever. Now, why would that be? Well, number one, it's because the product was so effective and people were in love with this product. There was so many benefits to it, and, of course, Byron knew that. The second thing is that the people, the partners in Rain International, they really loved the management team because the management team had that distributor background. They knew what distributors wanted and needed, and they were putting together the tools to be able to support everybody. Well, when I heard this, folks, it really grabbed my attention because I hadn't heard of a company that actually had a 3-year track record that was totally debt-free, was doing millions of dollars a month in sales, based in the United States, but had never opened in the United States. In fact, on July the 17th of this year, folks, July the 17th, just a few short months ago, they opened North America. Well, when I heard this, I understood what was going on. I saw that I was able to catch a wave of a company that had this kind of a background, and I wanted to capitalize on that. So I basically quit everything that I was doing. I came on board with the company, and what I did was I started to learn about this product. And when my friend called me and he told me about it, I was just totally impressed. So what I did is I bought what they call the Business Builders Kit. And that happened to be 4 boxes of Soul. I got a position in the company, and I went to work. But what I found was that the Business Builder Kit may not have been enough for me because it just included 4 boxes of this product. And I ran out about halfway through the month and had to order more. So I was impressed. I knew I'd be impressed with the product. And just to give you a little idea what it did for me, I'm actually a baby boomer. I walk 2 miles every single day. And what I've noticed over the last 7 years or so is that my legs started cramping up. I started getting shin splints. I started getting knee aches. I was having to stop halfway through my walk, and I'd have to rest my legs, and I'd have to rub them out. And, of course, you're not going to get the potential of a good walk if you are having to stop all the time. So what happened was 2 days after I received this product, literally it changed my life. 60% of the pain was gone. And then within a week and a half later, it was totally gone. And I thought, wow, this is just absolutely incredible. And I've been absolutely passionate about this ever since. But what I want to go ahead and do here is share a little bit about the product itself, because what's happened here is that so many people in North America have started to hear about Rain International. So many people are starting to find out that this product has so many different benefits to it that we're starting to get calls just like this one tonight, to where we got hundreds of people coming to the phone and wanting to hear about this company. So let's talk a little bit about the product itself. The product is called Soul, and it's not the next juice. It's not the next puree or exotic berry that somebody found under a bush at the top of some mountain. Soul starts with the foundation that these products never considered. You know what that is? It's the seeds. And it's not just any seeds. Soul employs ingredients derived from a cold-press process that actually removes the nutrient-rich oils and flowers from the seeds without ever altering the chemical composition. The result? Well, it's powerful antioxidants and essential fatty acids that help the body maintain the balance that we have to avoid today's most pressing health issues in our lives. And I think that we're seeing that, and we all know that there's so many things that are happening. There's so many toxins in our lives. If we go to fast food restaurants and different things like that, it's causing an epidemic out there. So what are the seeds? Well, the seeds are a combination of the black cumin seed, the black raspberry seed, the Chardonnay grape seed, and what's called the ribose. And I'll just touch on each one of these individually. The black cumin seed, some of you have probably heard about, but it goes back over 3,000 years. It's mentioned in the Bible in the Old Testament, and people believed back then that the black cumin seed cured everything but death. And I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. But it was also found in King Tut's tomb, and what they used that for is that they thought that it would help with the afterlife. So it wasn't unusual for the Egyptians back then to bury with black cumin seed. Today, we have 6 patents on this product. We don't. Rain International doesn't, but there's 6 patents issued. 5 of them are in the United States, and 1 of them is in the United Kingdom. And what's amazing about that is these patents, every single one of them, is for a different benefit. That, to me, was also very impressive. But studies have shown that this seed alone is 281 times more effective in reducing inflammation than aspirin without any of the side effects. So that's strong, and there's a lot of research behind it. In fact, there's over 20 years of research behind the black cumin seed today. Now, the next ingredient is what we call the black raspberry seed, and I'm sure that all of us have ate black raspberries before, and what the black raspberry is showing to do is optimize the glucose levels in your blood. It actually aids in joint protection, and it's beneficial in stabilizing blood pressure. And this is kind of amazing. I know there's a lot of skin cream companies out there, but this has a retention effect upon the tissue that smooths the skin from the inside. And so there's definitely some anti-aging properties involved into this. So the next one is what we call our Chardonnay grapeseed. And the Chardonnay grapeseed also has a lot of different benefits to it, and it's shown to be really good for cholesterol. It's shown to present powerful antioxidant. It supports the bone strength. It promotes cardiovascular health. And I'm a gentleman that actually has coronary heart disease, and it's a hereditary disease, and I definitely learned a lot about the Chardonnay grapeseed since I have had to go through that. But it also increases resistance and stress. Nobody has stress today, right? It assists in the recovery in organs that's caused by inflammation. And, folks, isn't inflammation the cause of so many diseases out there that we're seeing pop up around the world? And the next ingredient is what we call D-ribose. D-ribose is actually a 5-carbon sugar that naturally occurs in your body. And one of the things that I learned is that children have a lot of D-ribose in their cells. That's why they have so much energy, and they can outrun all of us that are aging today. But as we start to get older, what happens is we start losing that natural D-ribose. So together, this combination is cold pressed into a 2-ounce foiled pouch. And the 2-ounce foil pouch is so easy to carry with you. It's not like having a bottle that you have to carry around or anything like that. It's basically very simple to travel with. My wife's a flight attendant. She takes it with her on her trips, and it's very easy to work with. All you have to do is tear the top of it off and squeeze it into your mouth. And I'll tell you, it's something different than I've ever had the experience of tasting over the last 25 years. I've tasted it all. I'll guarantee you I have tasted it all. And when I tasted this, I thought, wow, this is really good. My wife says that it kind of tastes like a berry martini. I'm not sure about that, but you certainly can taste the berries in it. You can also taste the grit of the seed in it, which is kind of unusual. But the effect of what I've experienced from using this product is just absolutely incredible. So, I don't want you to just take my word for it tonight. You heard my story and what it did for me. And if it was only me, it would be one thing. But it's not only me. There's a number of different people out here that are going to share their stories too. And I have a few of them on the phone with me tonight, and I'd like them to share their stories also. And for you folks that are actually on and going to tell your story tonight, when I call your name, the only thing you need to do is hit *6. And when you're done, if you would, please hit *6 again and mute yourself out. So I'm going to go all the way out to Bakersfield, California, and I want to see if Tom Moore is on the line. Tom, are you with me? Hit *6.
Yes, hello, Jim. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I am awesome. Tom, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And if you would, I spent a little time with Tom down in Southern California last week and did a presentation down there along the coastline. And he had driven for 2.5 hours with one of his guests just to come to this meeting. And when I heard his testimony, it really kind of, just blew me away what was going on out here. And Tom, if you'd share that, please do.
Sure, yeah. First of all, thank you, Jim, for inviting me to tonight's call. I've been using the Soul product now for about 3 weeks. I'm a plumber and a handyman by trade for 20-some-odd years. I started acquiring arthritis in my right hand, and my right hand was getting so painful. I could hardly hold a pipe wrench or a hammer, much less open a Gatorade bottle anymore. The pain was just so intense. After using the product for only 5 days, the pain in my right hand, the arthritis, it diminished. It went away probably about 90%. I'm now taking it for 3 weeks now. It's completely gone. I have no pain. I've got strength in my right hand. It's benefited several of my health issues. Living here in Bakersfield, California, it's probably one of the most unhealthiest cities to live in because of all the agriculture around. My allergies and everyone's allergies here in this city has always been a problem. After taking the product for only 2 days, I stopped using my allergy medication. My sinuses are clear. My headaches are gone. I mean, it's just been wonderful. It's been such a big relief. It's just amazing to me. Also, Jim, there's been a big change in my prostate health as well. Getting up in age, whatnot, things don't work as well as they used to when we were younger. And I tell you what, this product has just made me feel great. I have a lot more energy. I can think clearer. My aches and pains are gone. The old saying, no pain, no gain? Well, with this product, I tell you what, there's lots to gain and there's no more pain. So that's it, Jim. I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, and great job, by the way, Tom. The next person I want to go to is another gentleman that I met down in Southern California, down in the Redondo Beach area. And this guy is a personal trainer and actually holds a boot camp down on the beach. And I have so much respect for him, and I'm glad that he's on the phone tonight because he also has a great story. So, Steve Laughlin, are you with me, buddy? *6 to unmute. Are you there, Steve? I don't know whether we got Steve or not here. I'll come back to Steve. I'm going to go out here to Oregon City, and I'm going to introduce you to my lovely wife of 3 years. She's been a flight attendant, and she is really the strength behind me. She's a great networker in her own in her own life. She does an awesome job. So without further ado, Renee, are you with us?
I think I am. Am I with you?
You sure are.
Awesome. Well, again, my name's Renee Hoover, and like Jim said, I've been a flight attendant for almost 20 years now. And what happened to me is on one of my overnights, getting into the bathtub, I slipped, and I basically came down on the edge of the tub and separated two of my ribs from my sternum. And being the person that I am, I finished my trip, did 2 other legs, but I knew I had to go to the emergency room. I knew something was wrong, and that was Labor Day weekend last year, so 2012. And I was basically out of work for 6 months, and for the first month I was pretty much bedridden. I was on pain pills, just trying not to laugh, sneeze, or cough because I knew I could puncture a lung at that time. But I was dealing with the pain on a daily basis, and my doctor told me that this pain could be with me from 2 to 5 years. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to get back to work. I can't accept that. So when Jim and our sponsor started talking to me about Rain, I thought, I need to try this. And I've been taking the Soul product since the end of July, and just a couple of weeks ago, my doctor saw me, I thought, hopefully for the final time, and he released me and said that my recovery has gone a lot faster than he thought. I was basically pain-free from taking, any kind of drugs and just taking my Soul. So after 45 days on the product, I have been completely pain-free, and I have to thank Rain International for that, for the awesome product that they have. And I'm one of those that I hate to take any kind of pain pills or drugs, and so I was so excited to have something that was a great alternative. And it not only took away my pain, but it's given me energy. I have to say that I don't require as much sleep, which is totally beneficial on my job. So anyway, I'm excited to be a part of the Rain family, and I just love the product. Thanks, Jim. I'll turn it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Renee. I really appreciate that. And now what I want to do is go up to Salt Lake City and see if we got Jed on the phone. Jed, are you with us tonight? *6. Jed? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Jim.
Jimbo. Oh, that's all right. Jed, I got to tell you, you've helped me so much coming into the company, and I've learned so much from you about the company and the product. So I'm just excited to have you here on the call this evening. If you could share a little about the product, but I also want you to share about the opportunity a little bit too, because I know that you found some things that were pretty remarkable about the opportunity. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, I would just like to share the latest story that I've had, or latest testimonial about a patient, and that was I had a new acute total knee replacement come out of the hospital, and when I went to treat her last week, her pain, something had happened where she had twisted the knee or something, and because it's so acute, she was only 8 days post-op. And so her pain was an 8 out of 10. on the pain scale. And so usually when it's that high, we don't really have many options. Usually we would just try to, wouldn't really stretch it or work it because the pain's so high. Well, with this, I told her, I said, you know what, I've got something that I know is going to help your pain, but I'm going to have to put some of this product that you've never heard of on it and then ultrasound that into your knee. Are you willing for me to do that? And of course she said yes. And so I did a 8-minute treatment where I just ultrasound the Soul product topically right into that area of pain. And by the time I was done, she was at a 0 out of 10 pain scale. And what that allows us to do is now we can go ahead and do a normal treatment. And so if it wasn't for this product, that treatment never would have happened that day. And so this product is absolutely amazing what it does, not only taking it orally, but it also applying it topically. It's just it's the greatest all natural. In fact, it's the greatest anti-inflammatory that I've ever used, and as a practitioner, and that's I'm so thankful for. But on the lines of an opportunity, if anyone out there has questions of whether this comp plan really works or not, or how great the comp plan is, I'd just like to tell you. Last week, this is, like we say, it's a hybrid, but we get paid on the binary as well as unit level. Well, last week, I did not qualify for the binary, so that means I did not have 300 volume on my weaker side. So in any other comp plan or with any other company out there that I know of, I wouldn't have received a paycheck last week because you should have to qualify on the binary to be able to receive a check. But my check last week, because of the new bonus that they implemented a few weeks ago, my check was $490. That's not a lot, but I'm just saying, any other companies that I've ever been with or even know about today, I would have had a 0 check last week. And so this comp plan is so powerful, and now it's time to lace up the boots and go to work.
All right, Jed, and let me get this straight, Jed. So basically you actually hadn't qualified in the binary structure, but you still ended up with over a $400 check. Is that right?
Correct.
Man,
and that's because of the Infinity bonus.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. You're right. I haven't heard of anything quite like that either. So, well, let's talk just wait a minute. Let's do one more because we do have another lady, and I really got to hear this testimony. But this lady is out of Colorado, and her name is Bonnie Butler. I've heard some great things about you, Bonnie. Are you with me?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi, Bonnie. Hey, nice to have you on the call here this evening. Bonnie, if you would, share your story with us. I'm anxious to hear it.
Okay. In February of this year, I was diagnosed with stage 3C to stage 4 ovarian cancer, and I had a CAT scan done on the 19th of April, getting ready to have major surgery in May, and I went ahead with that surgery. And this last Thursday, October the 10th, I had a follow-up CAT scan, and I had some chemo, but I just didn't want any more chemo as of April the 19th, so I stopped all that. And on the 10th of October, I went in and had a CAT scan, and the scan revealed that there were some questionable areas on a lobe of my liver that was a concern, and they could not remove them during my surgery. They were small, but still they were there. And so the CAT scan showed that the nodules have decreased in size over 5 milliliters, from 12 milliliters down to 7 milliliters. That's still way below an inch. 7 milliliters is like barely a quarter of an inch. But what it shows is that, and of course one of the attributes of the black cumin seed is a tumor reduction proprietary to that. So it showed that that's what it had done for me. It has also, kept me active and a lot of energy, sleeping better. My blood pressure's hugely improved. My skin, I do put some of the rain on my skin in areas where, I did have the tumors at one time because it does, penetrate through the skin wall. And with that, that's what it's done for me, and I couldn't be happier. I have spent a very happy last few days after getting that report, and my doctors are totally amazed.
Wow.
I'm
excited. That's really powerful, Bonnie, and the best of luck with you on that. Folks,
Jimbo.
What I want to do... Yes, sir.
Jimbo, it's Steve Lawson, personal trainer, Redondo
Beach.
Oh,
okay. Steve, I'm glad
sir?
You're on here. Right, well, go ahead. Steve, go ahead and just share quickly a little bit about what's happened with you.
Okay, sorry about that little problem over here in the phone service. Basically, this situation was with my mother. She was in the emergency room, and she has a virus called the shingles, which is very painful on the nerve endings. And she was on Norcos and Vicodins and very powerful painkillers. And it's kind of a bad situation because the doctor had already told her she can't really be taking too many painkillers because of the fact that her liver was going bad too, so it was a catch-22. Well, I walked in there and I gave her some Rain, and she basically hasn't taken another Norco or a painkiller since then. It's been 2 months now. She uses it to go to sleep. She uses it during the day, and whenever she feels pain, she takes some of the Rain, and she's good. I see it happen every day. It's a miracle. It saved my mom's life.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely, 100%.
Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate that testimony, too. And folks, it's not just, mine or these folks' testimony on here. You know what? There's thousands and thousands of testimonies around the world. We're just new here in the United States, and you're just starting to hear them here in North America. So, it's going to be really exciting to see hear the different testimonies over the months to come. What I want to do now is just quickly touch on the marketing structure, because I know there's a lot of people on here that are really interested in the business side of this too, which is exciting because there's so much potential to be and position yourself in front of a wave. And folks, there's no doubt in my mind that we are in front of a wave that's going to literally not just cover North America, but go around the world, and you have the opportunity to share this with people and get paid for doing it. And what this brain profit system is, it's a hybrid infinity compensation plan. In my opinion, it's probably the most unique compensation plan that I've seen in the 25 years that I've been around the industry. We literally get paid 9 different ways. You get a true 50% payout, folks. That's very unusual in this industry to actually get a 50% true payout. That means for every dollar that's coming into this company, 50 cents of that is going out to the distributor for it. That's powerful. We have a one-of-a-kind fast start infinity bonus that Jed kind of touched on a little bit ago that's designed to get the new partner earning, $200 to $500 a week very rapidly. And most company plans don't give you the ability to earn that kind of money right out of the starting block. So that's a very powerful part of this. You can be a preferred customer. You can be a part of that program. What that does is it allows you to basically buy the soul at a wholesale cost while paying your sponsor 40% commission. That's pretty powerful when you're able to get 40% commission on a product that's out there. So that's strong. We also have weekly company revenue sharing pools where the company sets aside 3% of the gross earnings each and every week. A 2 to infinity plan that will pay up to $10,000 a week. And think about that, folks. That's an infinity plan that will literally, if you go out and you take action, you can earn with just one position in this company up to $10,000 a week. We have a massive 9-generation, and I don't want you to get generation confused with level because it's not the same thing. We're talking about generations of managers and senior managers and diamonds, and it's a matching bonus for the serious business builder. which has the potential to literally create a six-figure income for a person who really wants to go after it. Folks, again, I've seen hundreds of compensation plans in my days, and everybody talks about how theirs is the best plan, but I haven't seen anything that matches what we have here today. And I love the idea that I can bring someone new that I care about into this business, and next week they could literally get a paycheck. Folks, that's powerful. At Rain International, we have a very aggressive payout, and it's guaranteed to accrue 50% every single week. So whether you're a part-time person and only looking to make a few $100 extra every single week, or maybe you're the aggressive full-time business builder who wants to earn thousands of dollars a week, this plan will help you do that, and you can build long-term residual income. Folks, I don't know of another industry anywhere to where you can build long-term residual income like this. I know that when I was out doing other ventures that there was no way I was going to earn a residual income. In fact, every single year I had to start over again. So this is an extremely powerful plan. And we have a couple of different ways that you can come into the business. Number one, you can come in with what we call a business builder kit. That's what I did, and you know what? I found that it just wasn't enough. It was 4 boxes. I got one position in the company, and I was, I ended up buying 2 more boxes. So that's the business builder kit. The other one is what we call our professional builders kit, and the professional builders kit actually gives you 3 business centers in the company, and you get 10 boxes of product, and I will tell you, you could run out even at that position. But it's something you need to talk to the person who invited you on this call about this evening and find out what it is that works for you and your family. I'm an absolute strong believer that if you go out and you share the sold product with everybody that you know, folks, I know that the money's going to follow. I want to end this call with this. It doesn't matter how you feel about the network marketing industry. What's important is that you know that it's absolutely on fire right now, and not just in North America. It's on fire in almost every country around the world. People from every walk of life are realizing their dreams because of the network marketing industry. And that's powerful, folks. And look at today's economy. I can remember when I was growing up years ago, my mom was always home. My dad was the sole supporter in our family. Today, you very seldom see to where one of the parents is home any of the time. It takes 2 people working just to pay our bills. So if you're looking at that situation, then take control of your life. And I hope that you're seeing the same thing that Renee and I have seen, because I literally feel that people need to make a decision to change their life with Rain International. So get back with the person that invited you on this call tonight. Talk to them about what entry kit best fits them, and then let's go out and make it rain throughout North America, folks. I want to thank you again for being on here, and, have an awesome, successful evening. Thanks a lot.